Ortega here, your business coach, and here is your business tip of the week. So today I want to talk to you about the 4 steps to learning. And this is a really interesting concept, which I love kind of really pondering and sharing with people. And you can really apply it to just about any situation in life and, of course, and in business. So I want to take you through that today. So the first step is what we call unconscious incompetence. Okay, so that basically means that you don't know what you don't know. And I'm going to use the example of driving a car. Okay, a baby doesn't realize that they don't know how to drive a car. They don't even know that driving a car is a thing, right? They may not even know a car is a thing. So unconscious incompetence essentially means is that you are unaware as to what you don't know. Okay, so again, we call it the don't know that I don't know. So let's just say that baby gets a little bit older and now they know what a car is and they know that mom and dad drive a car. They know that they don't drive a car because they don't know how, although some of them might want to tell you that they do. But knowing what you don't know is what we call conscious incompetence. Okay, so the child at a certain point will know that they don't know how to drive a car. Okay, I know that I do not know how to fly an airplane. Okay, I am consciously incompetent in the area of flying airplanes. Okay, so the next level up is maybe I can take some classes. Maybe this kid now turns 16 years old and they're learning how to drive that car. So over time, over practice, the more and more you do it, now you become consciously competent. Like you know what you're doing in that space, in that area, whatever it might be, driving the car or flying the plane, you're consciously competent, okay, or competent. The next level, and by the way, here, the reason why we have emotion on here is because anytime that there is learning that needs to take place, that perturbation sets in, that being willing to step out of the comfort zone, take the classes, look foolish, try something new, right? Make mistakes. You have to be open to that if you want to learn anything in life. And oftentimes the struggle between, looking good and willing to look foolish or bad and putting yourself in a situation where you're going to have to learn something and show everybody that you don't know what you're doing, it creates a lot of internal emotion, which can sometimes be expressed outwardly, but for the most part, it's emotion that you have to struggle with. And once you get past your own ego, past your own emotion, then you reach that conscious competence level. Great. So now let's say you've been driving a car for 5, 10, 15, 20 years. And, if anybody asks you, like, do you know how to drive a car? You're going to be able to say, yeah, and I'm pretty darn good at it. I've been driving a car for 20 years until someone side swipes you or T-bones you or something like that, and then that sends you into the realm of unconscious competence, because all of a sudden you're going to start thinking to yourself, what just happened? What did I do? What could I have done to prevent that? And maybe it wasn't even your fault, but the fact that it wasn't your fault doesn't mean that, had you been paying closer attention, had you been listening to your radio not at that sort of volume level, could you have done something to prevent that accident, even though they were the ones that caused it upon you? So sometimes it's a person, or it's an event that causes you to realize that you don't really know, what you're doing, or maybe you don't know as much as you think you know. Or perhaps, the other, using the same example of driving a car, you ever drive somewhere, that you've driven to many, many times before, like work, and then you realize that, or home, you realize you don't even remember driving there. Like you went completely on autopilot mode and you just got there, right? And oftentimes we think we're a great driver, but it's really our unconscious competence, the I know kicks in, and all of a sudden we go on autopilot. And then we just basically do the same thing over and over again, right? So this is a dangerous state, because at this point, being in autopilot mode is where basically, we lose sight, we lose focus, concentration, vision, where, we're just basically, doing some muscle memory that's getting us from point A to point B. So how do we apply this when we're talking about business? Is that if you're starting a business for the first time and it's your first time running your own, you might be at that first level of the unconscious incompetence. Like, you want to open up a business, but you don't really know what you know, or you don't know what you don't know about running a business, but you start anyways, right? And after some time, then you get to that conscious incompetence, and then you realize, boy, I might be good at sales, but I'm not good at marketing. Or maybe I'm good at finance, but I'm not good at operations or human resources. So after you spend some time running a business, you're going to start realizing some things, what you're good at, what you're not good at. So slowly you get into that conscious incompetence, and then hopefully you get a business coach, someone like me, that's going to help kind of shine the light and hold the mirror up, and it's going to say, hey, look, let's start doing some work on the areas that you're not that good at. That's going to create some emotion, right? But hopefully over time you overcome that emotion, you take action, and you get to that conscious competence where, hey, you've taken your business to a whole new level, right? Congratulations, you're there. But then something like 2020 happens, a pandemic hits, or 2001 after the September 11th attack, or 2008-9 after the market crash and all that stuff, after the bubble broke. All of a sudden you realize, man, I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm not sure I know how to continue doing what I'm doing. And so, it sends you, again, a person, an event, a situation, sends you back all the way to that beginning starting point of the unconscious incompetence, because you're back to not knowing what you know. Like, for example, if you're running a $1 million a year business, and somebody were to pick you up and drop you into a $10 million a year business, and now you have to run that business, there's going to be all sorts of unconscious incompetence that goes on for a while, because you're getting dropped into running a much larger business than you're accustomed to, without really knowing what you know, what you don't know, what it takes to run that sort of size business. And so again, this is a never ending cycle. So I'm going to leave you with a question in terms of, where are you, right now, in terms of your learning when it comes to running your business, right? Do you feel as though you're in the unconscious incompetence, like you don't know what you don't know? Hopefully not, right? Are you in the conscious incompetence where you're just now, realizing what sort of things that you're working on? Or are you in the conscious competence where, you're working on the stuff that you need to work on, which is great? Or are you in the unconscious competence where maybe you've been on autopilot? Maybe you've been, kind of just letting the business go where it goes without much vision, direction, guidance. The sales aren't up. You're just kind of coasting, letting the waves take you, right? So, where exactly are you in your business? And what do you need to do to continue that cycle? Because here's the good news. Although the cycle never ends, you do progress. So every time you go up that ladder and then you start all over again, you're really, maybe from 0 to $1 million. Those were the first 4 steps. But then when you go through this ladder again, now you're climbing from $1 to $2 million a year, right? So if financially you've been stuck somewhere for a certain amount of time, it could very well be that you've been stuck in a certain step when it comes to learning. So push through the emotion, know where you're at, get some education, get some coaching around that, and take your learning to the next level, because when you take your learning to the next level, it will take you and the business there as well. This has been your business tip of the week. Thanks for watching.